heck? Why do I want this? Why is that randomly appearing? Hi, by the way, guys. Sorry, I was just thinking my computer was lagging for a second. I was trying to get everything situated. I've had a weird day. Not a bad one. It's just I've had a lot of scheduling and workarounds and stuff to do. And I was just listening to a new music song that's stuck in my head, which we all know how that is. You listen to a song for the first time and then it just gets stuck in your head. It's pretty much how it always goes, more or less. But I'm here now, just so you guys didn't know if I was just ignoring whoever came in. And I have photos open because I wanted to show you guys my new work, my new pictures. Starting with this one. So we'll leave that up there. No need to show you guys the first and second batch anymore. You guys probably all know already about what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get everybody else in that I can. What's up? Just trying to get other people in. Yep. It's a sign of my new work. My photo collage feature on my laptop and everything, which I'm going to show off. I've unlocked new features. It's basically like photo overlay. My computer had a freaking photo overlay on the collage system. And I didn't even know it. It's just like when I got the laptop with the built-in green screen. This computer literally has stuff that I have Tomas surviving, so it's already happening. This is for my McQueen story. It's my new work. But I already have Tomas surviving and several others. I'm just trying to get other people in here. That's why I'm like half concentrated. Anyone else in? Sorry, I'm awake other than last Saturday. I didn't have to take a nap, but uh, I am less focused right now because I'm trying to get more people in. There. That'd be really pointless for them to find the prison, to have to just leave immediately. That's like really, um, that'd be stupid to do. Hmm? I already have Morales surviving in several Morales ones. That would almost just be rehashed content, and it'd be giving Morales a little bit too much credit. He definitely would not be that fast, unlike Daryl. Daryl was on frickin' point. He was fast enough to frickin' pull up a frickin' punch on Negan. Especially if you watch the Daryl spinoff, how fast he was torturing that dude and dealing with the variant walkers. That's just, you can't nerf Daryl like that.
Choice can come out on top. Strong enough, smart enough, and clever enough.
Let's just wait for more people. You can just keep recommending stuff, but hopefully some more people come, so that way I can show off more stuff. And I'm playing music too.
So you can hide behind your paper thin wall, but pull one brick and watch it all fall. Convince yourself what you say is true, but I can see right through you.
Anyone else in? Besides Infugo? What is that picture? Is that like a cursed Mr. Krabs? I keep thinking that it's like a monstrous Mr. Krabs or something. Anyone else in? I want to show off the rest of the pictures in case anyone else didn't see them, especially ones like this. And then I want to show off how I did it. So a lot to show, along with the Q&A. Where Tyrese's group was, they would have been killed by the claimers, most likely. Sasha and Ben at least, would have been, assaulted by the claimers, and that would have started a fight. They just didn't belong. Lone men and stuff who knew how to handle themselves were fit to be around that group, like Daryl.
Go ahead, blame it all on me. Never you, that's too hard to see. Fake the man you pretend to be, but it's just insecurity. Rolled up a collar, seems sincere. Big persona to hide the fear. Raise your voice, but no one can hear. Cause you just disappear. To hide what's true. Maybe take your finger and point it back at you. So you can hide behind your big thing wrong. But pull one brick and watch it all fall. Convince yourself what you say is true.
Toast?
But I can see right through you. Strap around like you're 10 feet tall. You think big, but your aim is too small. You talk the talk, but you walk the walk.
That'd be pointless to do Tyrese like that, only for him to die. I have a Tyrese Survive story as well as other Tyrese stories, so you'll see that. Or those. This isn't an official song yet, but it will be coming out to YouTube. It's Patreon exclusive, so I'm at risk of playing this, but it's in my head. You guys know the song, get in your head, you can't stop listening to it. Okay, music, shut up! We gotta do the Q&A. Hopefully get more people in here. I mean, we always do. It's just, I'm an impatient person. You can't... Ed and Sophia I get, but I have Carol and Sophia swapping out at Alexandria for Pete's family, since they were basically the same. Except Jesse was no Carol by any means. But for Tyrese, Carol basically, you need to have a character like Carol in the group. And Jesse's a good replacement. There's no replacement feature, so you can't really do that. What if the claimers found Carol, Tyrese, Lizzie, and Mika in their cabin while looking for Rick? Daryl would be with them and the encounter would be interesting. I'm not sure. It would just take that moment away from Rick. That would be the only thing that would change. It'd be like a... I'm not sure. I don't think it's worth exploring. I gotta think. What's the question? It would only change that small moment and take that biting the throat moment away from Rick. After that, Terminus would just probably be easier, but then that's where the story would kind of be the same. There's not really anything big to talk about. It would just be another big moment for Daryl and Carol. It would take away from Rick's character. So ultimately, it's kind of pointless to do. It would be like a seasonal 10 or 11 moment for Daryl and Carol. And they had a lot more of those moments than Rick even did as a character. That's why I had to freaking make a spinoff for Rick. Well, one, to tell us where the frick he was, since Andrew Lincoln departed the character, and two, because, yeah. That'd be pointless to separate Carol from Ed and Sophia, because then you're subjugating Sophia to utter beatings, and Sophia was already getting assaulted by Ed. So beating, even if Sophia wasn't obviously his wife, because that'd be freaking weird as frick, it still makes Sophia have a bad time. So, can't do it. What if Morales found Sophia after he lost his family instead of joining the Saviors? He'd be brought back from insanity by... Well, I feel like even if she found him, they would have both found the Saviors. And I have Sophia and Morales interact at least once or twice in my Sophia joined Negan story / movie, either or. So it's almost rehashed content. Sorry if I'm almost denying most of these. It's just some of these are either rehashed content or just stories that I can't see doing. That doesn't mean that we can't think of others, especially since I'm going to be extending the Q&A to show you guys what I've been working on. And just to interact with you guys, because I feel it's been kind of dead on YouTube this week. Maybe it's because I switched over to a Dragon Ball story. Nobody's really feeling that, even though Dragon Ball, literally, I'm doing every story and not just The Walking Dead. But I don't think some people are either okay with that or what. But we're all good. Whatever you guys like, it's all good because reasons. What if Morales and his family found Tyrese's group and joined them instead of going to Birmingham? I already have Morales surviving along with a few other Morales stories. This one, it would just bring back Morales early. That's just the same as making him survive if they was just going to make him find Tyrese's group. If anything, I might just do that. Or I had another premise that I was going to do for Morales surviving. Someone else recommended it to me. Might as well show off some pictures. Here's the next one. Come on, load. What if Jim turned into a walker while still in the RV and bit Lori? That would be a really quick reanimation. And I have Lori dying early and Jim surviving, as well as Lori killing Shane and big ones like that saved already.
all, but pull up quick and watch it all fall. Convince yourself what you say is true, but I can see right through.
How do you guys like Alan joining Tomas and Andrew? I mean, if you guys haven't seen the YouTube updates and Discord updates and don't know what the frick I'm talking about, that's why these are obviously here, and to share my work for the McQueen project.
But it's just insecurity. Roll the book out of seams and see. Big persona to hide the fear. Raise your voice but no one can hear. Cause you just disappear. To hide what's true. Maybe take your finger and point it back at you. So you can hide behind your paper thin wall. But pull one brick and watch it all fall.
This is mostly just me chilling and waiting for some people.
Strap around like you're 10 feet tall. You think big, but your name is too small. You talk the talk, but you walk the walk. So tell me
What do you think you are? Yeah, blah blah blah. There was something I made recently. Not the pictures, something else. Oh, that's right. If you guys didn't see this already.
Let's try that again. Let's try that again. I'm back. I don't want to scare you.
Yeah, Madison Troy intro and outro. You probably already freaking saw those. Da 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 da. Now I gotta freaking replace video, and now I am going to itsy bitsy spider beluga whale the frick out of these. I don't know what I just said, but just go with it. La-di dotty dom. Mixed topics, intros, and outros, and this is my newest intro that I made. The outro is just a basic goodbye from Cusco from Emperor's New Groove, so that's not really something to show, but this is my newest intro. I'm pretty sure I already showed it. If not, you'll be seeing it in the next last two parts of What If Vegeta Became Immortal, because the story's ending at 7 parts. Come on, process. Come on.
Who's ready for some excitement?
We are!
Who's ready for some fun?
We are!
Who's ready to shut up and watch the episode?
No, thank you. No one asked you. It doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah. It's a really funny skit that I thought I'd prepare for an intro. What if Jim killed Shane? No, Shane was a cop and Jim was a basic guy. You'd have to make Jim a lot stronger while making Shane a lot weaker to be able to make Jim beat Shane in a fight. Back to this. Bladdy, bladdy, blah. Bladdy, 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 blah. Okay. No ideas yet, but we got plenty of time. We have way more than enough time. I'm thinking about making it 2 hours and 15 instead of an hour and 15. Maybe even a little bit over. I'm not planning on making it huge. 2 hours at the absolute max because I do have to do stuff tonight. Not YouTube stuff, real life stuff. I'd rather not disclose personal information. Safety. Okay. What if Enid appeared early to save Glenn and Nicholas before the walkers surrounded him at the dumpster? That's like making a Nicholas survived story. And I already have a few stories in mind for that. So, yeah. Let's switch to the next one. These are all pictures that I've worked on and are what's going to happen in my What If Lightning McQueen Was in the Walking Dead project. And it was a new way to test out my new stuff. Anyone else besides Infugo in here yet? Or is there people like spectating or something? Just so I know I'm not totally alone in here. Maybe I need to turn back on the music, get some mood pumping in here. Because it feels dead. I'm obviously not going to play anything like major because, again, copyright. The song that I was playing isn't officially out yet. Then again, the song that I was playing wasn't really defined as pumping up the mood. Sort of a dark song, more or less. Because it comes from a channel talking about like Disney villains and making a story out of that and stuff. More or less. Anyway.
What's it like living in a life that you don't even realize? Build yourself up like you're the prize. Fall for your own disguise. Tell yourself you're too big.
Hello, Garjulio. Nice to see ya. Nice to see someone else present. We haven't got any ideas yet, but hopefully you've seen the recent YouTube updates and pictures because I'm slideshowing them for the McQueen project. Did I just hit a key? I mean, the song hit a key? Dumb joke. Sorry. I'm not gonna lie, this picture and the way I'm doing it is lit. Along with the Q&A and the updates you guys have seen, if you've seen them, I plan to show how I made this picture like this, and what I've been working on, especially with the computer. What if Strand killed Daniel? Daniel was like the Fear the Walking Dead's John Wick. And I get that he was close into dying like that, but Daniel was very vital for like pretty much the entirety of Fear the Walking Dead. You take him out, you need a very good replacement, especially for like the Charlie segments and everything. It would take a lot away of story and skid mark and a bunch of important plot points, especially with like Virginia and stuff.
Maybe the problem is you, not me. Convince yourself what you say is true, but I can see right through you. You strap around like you're 10 feet tall. You think big, but you're big.
The stream will be 2 hours, not 2 hours and 15, but it will be 2 hours because I want to show off a lot today. What if a meal?
Who do you think you are?
I don't think I have an Emil-based what if yet. So you know what? That'll be the first idea. Because I actually really liked Emil. Even though his axe could have been bigger, which Morgan upgraded with his stick, I feel like he could have been very vital. Especially since we saw nothing of his brother afterwards. Seriously, his brother, frickin' Sarah and Wendell, Walker. There's so many characters still in The Walking Dead yet to explore because they all just poofed out of existence like frickin' Harry Potter or some crap. Characters like Emil and everything, like they could have kept it going. I feel like at times they frickin' gave up on some of the characters, like Walker and frickin' Sarah and Wendell and frickin' the brother of Emil. They just gave up on him and just poofed him away. Like those characters didn't even matter anymore. Same with Heath and same with so many other guys. They just got rid of them. It's like, oh, we're going to show these characters, make them stick around for like maybe an episode or two, and then like that. It's like, haha, fooled you. You thought this character was going to remain forever? Boom. Get rid of him. Just like Troy. And seriously, now that I'm looking at it more and more, Troy is one of my all-time favorite characters. Anyone else concur? That's why I have so many what ifs planned for the future, because I grew to love Troy more than I thought I would. I mean, honestly, getting into Fear the Walking Dead was probably a very good decision. Because, especially with Troy and stuff, and characters like that. My Dragon Ball story, the Vegeta Immortal one's not getting as much love as I thought it would. But hey, dropping away from The Walking Dead for a minute will give everyone time to like brace themselves for the next story. Heck, even Dixon's Whispers didn't get that much views, and that was a Walking Dead story. Maybe just people take interest in something for a certain amount of time and then just differ away. But the Emil one, I definitely like that touch. I thought that I put that, or that I saved that, and maybe I did. And if I did, well, then you know it's going to happen. But I feel like I didn't save it. Maybe it's just because I didn't think of a proper way to put it in. Anyone else in here besides Gargiulio and what's his name? Infugo? Like King Devin? Nuclear Longshot, maybe? My friend? Shumpert. What if Herschel survived? I haven't. You know, I put that one off. Same with the Dale one, honestly, because I could never think of a way to actually make Herschel survive. You know, actually, I have Herschel surviving all the way up until the end in my Sophia story. And I think my Madison story. If I didn't make it for my Madison story, then the Sophia story and not the Dale one, but I definitely know that I've made him survive in a few before. I just haven't thought of a centered what if for Herschel because I could just not think of something for him to do. But I don't know. That's hard with Herschel as a character. I mean, yeah, I'll do it. That's the second one. So we got Emil and Herschel. Honestly, Emil is much more better of a character to think about surviving. Herschel, don't get me wrong. I like Herschel as a character. It's just that it's hard to think about characters like that and true alternative things, especially whenever you do a plot that basically makes them survive. You got to do a whole centered story. What if Axel's serial killer plot was never scrapped? I have Axel being a serial killer along with Tomas surviving, all the prisoners being crazy. What's his name? Dexter being in the show, and several other prisoner what ifs. So yeah, you can consider all that happening. But we got 2 so far. We got Emil and we got Herschel. And since I've already showed this for a good minute, I'm going to slideshow to the next one. And if you guys didn't know, if you haven't been paying attention to the YouTube updates and everything, we're on my Google Photos, and this is where I'm at. This is where I started with the new feature for my stuff. Like the McQueen story, the Lightning McQueen in the Walking Dead story. Those are the pictures that I showed and the new feature. My collage app has a feature. It basically makes it like a photo overlay, which I've used before. And I have Tyrese and Tomas joining, and then Alan betraying going with Tomas and Andrew. And this is what I'm showing. Tyrese and Sasha going to Woodbury, Alan and Ben joining Tomas and Andrew, and then it's an update part of the project that I'm on currently, or that I was on, because I'm now past that. Rick, Lightning McQueen, and Herschel, and Shane and Michonne at Morgan's apartment on their way. If you guys really don't know what I'm talking about, either wait until the story comes out, look at the Discord notifications, or look at my YouTube community post for context, in case you don't know what the frick I'm talking about. Or if you're not into The Walking Dead or anything like that, then pay no mind, basically. But yeah, I just want to show off these because I already showed you guys the first and second batch of what ifs and everything. And I'm sure that any of you, even if you're not a member or anything, you've seen the Discord and the stream of the, what's it called? The what ifs by now. You've seen both batches, so I don't have to show it multiple times. I was just showing it because nobody is a member yet. And I feel like you guys deserved to know what I'm working on. You guys at least need to deserve that much, you know, since considering how much support you guys have given me. I'm saying that like I'm bigger than I actually am, but to be fair, I'm at least substantial for a 2.5 year freaking YouTuber, at least on this channel. Oh, you know what I just realized, guys? Think about how crazy this is, right? We are almost at the 3-year mark for the Omniverse of Nick. Hashtag Nick's Topics. We're already into June of this year. Can you believe that? How fast this year's gone? And if any of you play Dragon Ball, Budokai Tenkaichi 4, hashtag Sparking Zero, is coming out in October. And in freaking August or something, we're getting the second season for the Daryl spinoff. Or September or whatever. And it's so crazy to me. And I'm already going to soon be thinking about, before you know it, the next Christmas special, if any of you watched my last year's special. It's so crazy how fast time goes. Can you believe that? Seems like just yesterday I was making this channel, freaking working out all the kinks with my weird little cringier younger voice and just barely touching the surface of a what if. Next thing you know, I'm on a freaking laptop working on this kind of stuff. It's crazy. But to be fair, if there's anything that I owe for this journey and 7 other channels, it's the people. And I know not a soul on here was on any of my other channels, but for those of you who've stuck around this long on this one and supported me, you guys deserve the utmost freaking respect and support. If I did not touch into that in my basically memoir of my 1,000 sub post. I know I kind of went into depth on that, and that's just because if you guys haven't already caught on, I'm a yapper. But if you're on the channel, then let's face it, you guys like hearing me talk. I know I've also said that before, and that's not me, like, you know, being cocky or overconfident or anything. That's just me, just saying, you know. What should I slide show next? Oh, here we go. Another pic. Shane Michonne getting armed up at Morgan's apartment. So, yeah. I'm only showing the cool pictures and not the actual project status because, yeah. What if Madison met Virginia? I already have Madison meeting Teddy, so this would be Madison coming back earlier. Technically, since I have a Madison staying what if she never burned everything down, she'd be meeting those villains regardless in that story. But now in my Virginia one, she's going to be it's going to be rehashed content. But I will, with those two particulars for Virginia and Teddy for Madison, which I'm pretty sure were both recommended by you, Gargiulio, I'll make an exception. Tomas met the Whisperers? Well, I'm going to do Tomas surviving episode, or series rather, which I already have saved, along with Schumpert, ironically. And I can't promise he'll meet the Whisperers, but whenever it happens, we'll see. That's all I can say, because I have literally, I'm not even joking you, literally like 200 projects and counting saved for my future. And the reason I'm doing so many and saving so many is because you guys are awesome with the what ifs. I think of a bunch of them on my spare time, which is a lot, and because I want this channel to be alive basically until the day I'm old enough to not do it anymore, literally, which I've also said before. So that's 3 so far. We got 2 surviving, Emil and Herschel, and then we got the Madison and Virginia one. Tell me this pic does not look sick, by the way. And you guys are going to even like even more whenever I show you how I've done this. No, I don't want to swap it over. What are you talking about? Okay, next. Okay, that's another Tyrese and Sasha at Woodbury one, which I already showed one of those, but this is just another part of the project. So we'll show that. Did I? Hold up real quick. What if Dakota wasn't a psychopath, a sociopath? That's like saying, what if Charlie didn't kill Nick? Or what if Tracy didn't shoot Madison? The kids in Fear were evil. To change one, you'd have to change all of them. And I already have Nick surviving, which isn't It's going to change Dakota, but I can't make promises. I can't say how the story's going to go until I do it. But you got to admit, these pictures look lit. And I'm only going to show that one for a second because I already showed one. And now this is kind of funny, but this is the part in the project where I'm having the governor, Martinez, and Milton talk about something. I'm not going to disclose that information because spoilers. And I have them all sitting at the desk. And since I couldn't find a picture of the inside of the governor's house, I kind of had to improvise. But let's be real here. This is cool. The governor joining Teddy's group. Why do I feel like I did save that and yet I didn't? Okay, I'm going to put that as a bonus because I'm 90% sure that I saved that. So this will be a bonus just in case. I don't want to forget about it because I definitely feel that I could save it. It's just I think that I didn't. Maybe. I don't freaking know. Honestly, I think this is more funny than cool, but I also think it's cool though. What do you guys think? They're all just sitting there chilling with their bodies non-existent. That's cool though, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm the one who freaking made it, so if anything, it should be cool. All right, we're going to share something else now. Replace screen sharing. And we're going to go to my collages. And I'm going to show you guys how I made the stuff. Now, okay, so here's how I'm going to explain it. So for those of you who do know me, you know that for the longest time, I worked off of my phone. I did everything phone-wise. I did my videos, my photo overlays, my photo collages, and everything phone-wise for the channel, right? Well, when I got the laptop, the only thing I use my phone for now is just watching basic crap, personal life stuff, and I still do photo collages and overlays on there occasionally. It's just not a main concern. Oh yeah, and I pull stuff for intros and outros, which you've seen. But with this, since I don't have overlay on my computer, but if you guys saw all those pictures, I don't need it. Because if you look here, if we go to more, where is it? Where the frick is it? Photo resize? No, I need to zoom in. Okay, so it's not going to tell me here, but as you can see, this is the screen in which you show the thing. But I found out something. If you go right here, it says select background. And what you can basically do is you can pick a background here, but it also lets you do an image. Like, for example, Woodbury or something like that. I could put that in here. And then all I would have to do to get it to make it look like it did with those pictures is all I have to do. Let me go to share this tab instead. Is it sharing that tab? Okay, here we go. I would go to, it shares this on the collage app, but it just didn't show you guys. I don't know why. But it has an option on there to remove background. So if I were to put in a picture, for example, like this, I could save this image of the governor, for example, and go to right here where it says drag a photo. Go to my screenshots, get the picture, and drag it there. And then as you can see right here, it removes just like photo overlay. So essentially, even though I didn't know it, just like the laptop has a built-in green screen and I'm able to do off this Restream app, it also, on the Collage app, has a built-in photo overlay. So essentially, I don't even need the collage or overlay on my phone anymore. They're just there as backups. But this in of itself is how I have been able to do the recent pictures that you guys have seen, like this. And that's how you guys have been able to see these cool, awesome pictures. So yeah, I think it was cool to show you guys this whole method here. We've got 3 ideas and a bonus idea so far. I plan to extend the stream once again, but I wanted to show you guys how I made the pictures and everything, because I think it's cool that the laptop has way more in it than I actually thought was possible. Then again, that might just be me being completely oblivious to laptops and computers, but I still think it's very cool nonetheless. What if the Proctors and Woodbury switched rules? Well, considering what we know about the Proctors and Woodbury, I think that the Proctors are just a villain group that I just don't really want to tangle, considering how little they were, being just in like a few short episodes and then getting blown up at the dam. Troy, Virginia's group, Teddy, Padre, and those groups had way more going for them. Heck, the original Walking Dead show, all those main groups had way more going for them too than half the groups we saw in Fear. What if Padre was Cannibal Community? I already have a few Cannibal What If saved, and I got rid of some of them because you can't put too many Cannibal or too many of the same thing into The Walking Dead. For example, we had a few groups who were assaulters or bad people, like the Claimers, Randall's group, and the people who took over Terminus and then they had to fight it back, which I'm pretty sure was Randall's group. That will be a separate What If. Those groups were all in common. And then Terminus and the Ferals were in common as well. If you do too many of the same thing, The Walking Dead would have lost its luster far more than people gave it credit for. And there's been a lot of that. So I don't want to ruin The Walking Dead or any show or movie-based franchise's reputation by doing too much of the same thing. Hashtag rehashed content. There's a little bit of a truth bubble there for you guys. But how you guys been? I feel it's been really dead on YouTube this week. I want to talk to you guys. Like, how you guys been? Have you guys, those of you who actually watched The Walking or Dragon Ball Z, you've been enjoying the Vegeta story? And like, how have you guys been? I want to talk to you guys like while we're here and everything. I don't want to make it seem like I'm a bad YouTuber or anything, not talking to my folks, because you guys know I definitely respond to all my comments and everything, or at least I heart them. I just want to disclose anything like how you guys have been and how you guys been enjoying the stories and what's been going on, you know? Just so that way we, you know, get all that out of the way. And it makes us all, it makes the time on the Q&A and everything even better. We're actually talking to each other and everything, and it's not just for the Q&A. What if Lance Hornsby was in season 1? Well, the only way to do that would be to take him out of the Commonwealth. And how would you be able to do that? Who would replace Lance Hornsby? If you could tell me who would replace Lance Hornsby, because we have people replacing Mercer and that kind of stuff. If you're ever going to replace a big character or make another big character leave and go somewhere else or die and someone, you have to replace that guy. Whether you're killing off that character or you're swapping that character to another place or with another person, you need someone to replace, especially if he is or she is a character who has lived a very long time. You need to make him, like, presentable. Lance and the Governor? You know what? I have the Governor joining the Commonwealth, but that one works. I could do that. All right, we got 5 ideas pretty much total here. Technically 4 if I already saved the Governor and Teddy one. I think I've already showed you guys the method of how I did this. What else am I felt like I was missing something. Who here has not seen the first or second batch of What Ifs? Like the franchise ones, the lists. Maybe I'm just missing something because I felt like there was something else to show you guys. Or maybe I'm just getting freaking bored, which I barely allow myself to do because I hate getting bored. Well, now you will. This is the first list. This is what I'm on right now. This is upload-wise what's going on. I've already got the first part of Casey's recorded and ready, but this is the stories I'm on. The Harry Potter ones were replaced with John Wick ones, and this is the current story I'm on. For anyone who has not or is not familiar with the schedule that I'm currently on, here is your look. I'm going to give you a few seconds. Memorize that, write it down, do what you will. Anyone who hasn't seen it. I'm pretty sure I canceled the alpha ones. Because once again, too many of the same thing. It's easier to do ones like Shane, the Governor, Sophia, Merle, and did I say Shane already? Yeah. But with characters like Shane and Andrea and then just other things, it's just best to leave it. Too much tampering can either confuse you or ruin the story. And then here is the second list that I made recently. It goes The Walking Dead. If you guys didn't catch by the other list and you guys don't already know this from anyone who hasn't seen the list or isn't paying the frick attention, here is the order of the new genre-based what ifs that I'm doing. The other one showed this too, the exact same thing. Walking Dead, Dragon Ball, Scream, Lord of the Rings, MCU, Saw, Transformers or Transformers Prime, John Wick, the Cars movies, and real life what ifs. Once I'm done with one set, I'll go to regular discussion, not what ifs, on that genre, and then it will be X'd out and replaced with something else until there's absolutely nothing left to talk about, which, let's be honest, I don't want to have happen for years to come. As a matter of fact, we'll keep that list there. I didn't think I'd have to keep that list there, but considering that we have people here who haven't seen it yet, best to keep it there. Especially if we get new people in here and haven't seen it or are not members of the channel yet, it's fair for them to see it. Okay, now I know that YouTube's trolling me. Oh, we need you to verify your address. We need to verify your account to keep getting monetized off YouTube. And then I'm somehow still earning even though I have to verify more stuff. How are you trolling me like this? We need you to verify even though we're still friggin' paying you. We need you to verify to keep getting paid. Like, huh? Either don't pay me and have me verify or just keep me You know what? I don't even care. I think YouTube's playing a little bit of a trick on me. I don't even think I should care about getting verified. Screw your verification. I don't need to get verified no more. I did all that bollocks. Tell me I need to get verified. I'm gonna keep saying verified the rest of the freaking video and stream and the rest of my night just to say how freaking utterly preposterous it is. Is that okay? I'm joking. Still. Where is I feel like we're missing people. What are we saying? Daniel and Wick looks cool. Yeah, it does. ChatGPT helped me out with the name, just like the Merlin beta spinoff and my new Omniverse of nickname. It's helped out a lot. It's going to make Wick and Salazar part of the same assassination program, change Daniel's backstory, and make Wick actually have a story like Lightning McQueen. Unlike John Cena, Jason Voorhees, and Jigsaw. Jackson Storm? Is he the guy? So what if no, that's Flynn. Oh, that dude in Cars 1? Would he still be the same speed or then Lightning McQueen would have basically never existed. Jackson would have taken his place. I don't know. Unless you can help me think of something, that would ruin Lightning McQueen's character. No, I got confused for a second. Why are people still talking about the freaking... I have Shumpert surviving as a what if, but why are people talking about the protein bar? For God's sake. I know he was the villain in Cars 1. I know that. But if Jackson Storm from Cars 3 was in Cars 1, it would have killed Lightning McQueen's character 2 movies early, and it would have basically destroyed the Cars franchise because he would basically be the new protagonist. He would be the one to work off of. Wouldn't he? And would he even be the same speed as he was in Cars 3? I don't even know if he existed before Cars 3. Well, if Simon was part of the Virginia Ranch, you'd have to find someone to replace Simon. I can do the Jackson one. You just need to help me. Like, did he even exist before Cars 3? Because to me, that was his first debut. He was a rookie who just happened to be faster than McQueen. Because McQueen was ending his time with him being like more rusty and broken down than he was. Stop talking about the protein bar, god dang it. People keep talking about that and it's just a joke. It was just a stupid little thing that Rick Michonne and Morgan had. It's not even a freaking not something that would even change the story. It would just change one discussion. It's not even worth bringing up. Ah. What if Simon and Emil swapped? What about the Jackson Storm one? Did he... I gotta look into this. Okay, now you guys are just trolling. Please stop. Did Jackson Storm exist before Cars 3? Okay, so he did. He was a cyber sportsman making a living playing racing video game Super Corsa 3. His greatest achievement was winning a lot of money from a cyber sport tournament organized by businessman Axel P. Biggs. What if Jackson Storm was in Cars 1? Teen Titans, especially Raven and Starfire, are way too powerful for The Walking Dead. Wait a minute. What's up, King Devin? People, what? Someone asked. Wait. Someone asked me to do Jackson Storm in Cars 1, and honestly, he would not be as fast, and a younger McQueen would actually kind of maybe even be on par or beat him. And I'm almost thinking that the story might almost involve Jackson Storm as the main character or just main rival instead of Chick Hicks. So honestly, I could do that. I was just trying to find a good plot. So we got 6 what ifs so far. We got Emil and Herschel surviving. We got Madison meeting Virginia. We got Lance and the governor swapping. We have Simon and Emil swapping. We got a bonus one for governor meeting Teddy. And we got Jackson Storm in Cars 1. I already have Chris surviving and Nick surviving. But I also have Nick returning instead of Troy. So Chris returning instead of Troy? Guess I kind of got to have to. Although that'd be really weird. Much more weirder than Nick. So, King Devin, have you seen any of the... You said you saw the updates, but have you saw like all the new pictures and everything that I made? Or do you want to take a look at the process? Because I showed everybody else, but do you want to see how I did it all? So this is the first picture. Tyrese and Tomas. This is the McQueen story we're talking about, the one I'm on. And then here's Alan turning traitor and him and Ben joining Tomas and Andrew. Spoiler alert, Tyrese and Sasha are officially kicked out, join Woodbury. Tomas, Andrew, Alan, and Ben, along with the other prisoners, are at the prison. This is the update part of the story. Rick, McQueen, Herschel, and the main cast is at Herschel's farm, season 3 territory, first there. And Shane and Michonne are on their way to just basically on their own. They come across Morgan's apartment, run into big trouble, which I have something really big planned there, and are eventually going to meet Negan, per the poll suggestion. Well, Michonne meeting the Claimers was the poll suggestion, but I combined the two choices of them both meeting Negan and Michonne finding the Claimers. Shane basically saves Michonne's life. And here's another one of them actually getting armed up and stealing all of Morgan's weapons. Hashtag it doesn't go so well, but I have a big twist for it, and I can't reveal everything because that would ruin the whole thing. Here's Tyrese and Sasha again at Woodbury. And then here is a funny / cool picture of the governor, Martinez, and Milton all sitting down and talking. I couldn't find a picture of them inside the governor's house, so I kind of had to improvise to make this. But I think that it worked, honestly. Now, for how I did it and made these, you know how on okay. So you know basically how before I got the laptop, I did everything on the phone, right? Even like photo overlays, collages, and all my project stuff, right? Well, when I switched over to the laptop, I've kept the photo overlays and collage on my phone as backups, more or less. And I have collage at least here on a computer. But if we go to sharing the tab here, come on. Thank you. This is the photo collage here. Now, we're going to zoom in. Now, it's not going to show it, so I'm going to have to share another tab. But this is basically what it looks like. And if you go here, you can select the background and go to image. So I could input like Woodbury or something here, and it would give me the background. Hence, the pictures that you saw there. Now, how do I put the pictures in of the guys, you might ask? Well, that's where this next thing is going to come into effect. It doesn't show the feature here because my computer's being stupid. But all I would have to do is go to the remove background option on the collage, and it essentially takes you here. You can put a picture, you can drag and drop, and it will get rid of the background depending on how big or small the picture is or who is in it. And you can see here the governor. So essentially, my collage is a photo overlay also. So that was very cool to find out, but I'm still keeping the collage and overlay on my phone as backups, just in case. But anyway, with all that said, this definitely helps out a lot, and now you know how I was able to make those pictures and everything. Because I definitely think that it's a much better option. Yeah, and that's how I was able to make these. As for the Flash and Walking Dead one, I'm not going to say that's silly as it is hard to do, more or less. Flash creating the Walking Dead. I understand like Gargamel or the Grimace Shake or COVID or Godzilla or Kong or things like that, but it just doesn't make sense for Flash, even if it is an accident. Because he could probably just as easily get rid of the situation as he started it. Unlike all my other things, you know? Anyway, I'm at least going to pull up some pictures here and leave them. Well, if that's already done, then I don't want to do rehashed content. Plus, I'm not really into comics. What if biting walkers turned them into humans? I'm sorry. Huh? I'm sorry. Give me a second. So my eyes are correct. I was right. I did just see that suggestion. How the frick would that work? That's like an Uno reverse card. If it were that easy. If only it were that easy. It would be like you kill a person and then they come back. You kill a person, they come back. You kill a person. It's like there'd be no point to the apocalypse. Everyone would just be Uno reverse carding the walkers. Especially if they're shot in the head, then you can't really do anything about that. Especially if you shoot a walker in the head. If it were that easy, it would have been done way before any of this was thought of. And another thing you got to remember too, you could do that, but what's to say that a walker would allow you to do that without you getting bit yourself? It just doesn't work. Alpha and General Beale. I didn't expect them to be two that swapped. General Beale in charge of the Whisperers? I can't imagine Alpha being the leader of the CRM. And General Beale being in charge of the Whisperers. I guess I could do it. It's just hard to imagine Alpha being the leader of the Whisper or the CRM. Those two roles in particular, it's weird. But wait, what? Versus Nick? No, I have. Wait. If Madison became a villain versus Nick. No, not versus Nick. I have that idea saved, but I never said anything about making her fight Nick. By making her a villain, I mean her being in leagues with Padre forever. Not being against Nick. Nick would still die like canon. No, the Alpha and General Beale one's going to happen. It's just that the biting and the human thing is just way too silly for my taste. It's just a giant Uno reverse card. Well, that might have been what he meant, but I'm pretty sure that whenever the idea, what if Madison actually became a villain, was recommended to me, that's not what was implied, or at least she wouldn't have been right to become a villain around then. It would have been right for her to become a villain, or what we thought was going to happen when we saw her come back against Morgan and she was with Padre. That's what I'm doing. But before then, it just doesn't seem right. I remember you saying that, but I didn't say maybe I should have disclosed this more. I'm sorry about this. Let's face it, Madison had plenty of bad moments. That's why people were wrong to compare her to Rick Grimes, because people thought that she was a replacement, or another Rick Grimes. My point is that that's what I have planned for the story, is to make her be in leagues with Padre forever. And her and Morgan basically are going to have a war, and it's going to result in Morgan basically, I can't spoil everything, obviously, and the story's not going to happen for a long time, but that's the basic prognosis of it. How are you liking the Vegeta story, King Devin? There's only 2 more parts left. Wednesday will be the closer, and then I'll make the movie. And then we're on to Scream, Casey's story after that. Would Tracy still be a part of the story? Well, yes. As long as you have Troy get hit and find Serena, then yes. Because if Tracy and Serena get together, not Tracy, if Troy and Serena get together, then Tracy is born. But if you do something other than that and Troy actually dies, which I have saved, then Tracy doesn't exist. It was the whole Troy getting saved by Serena is the whole reason that they had a kid in the first place. And the whole reason why Troy supposedly killed Alicia. But we know better. We know what happened. Who actually thought that Tracy was Alicia's kid? That Troy and Alicia actually had a kid? Can you imagine if that actually happened? I actually have that saved because that would have been so freaking weird. Can you imagine if they had went with that? Oh my god, that would have made it so much worse if it was against her will. Like, the way Lori acted, just like she was having Judith against her will. Like, I can't even imagine how much pain would be put on Alicia. It's like, I'm gonna kill her baby, and then whenever, and she doesn't even. Oh, I'm gonna start ranting about Lori. Sorry. It just got me in that mood. Everybody knows I'm a Lori hater. I mean, who isn't? Who isn't? Like, literally. But the Vegeta story is still going nicely. Yep. 2 parts of that, and then we're on to Scream. Speaking of which, who is a Scream fan? That's what I want to know, since we're not getting too much Dragon Ball love, for some reason. Is there any Scream lovers? Anybody into Scream? And Ghostface, because Casey Becker's story is up next. Seriously, who the frick doesn't hate Lori? Okay, we got Devin as a Scream fan. All right. Scream 7's still happening, by the way. And Neve Campbell is actually back in the part. They got Kevin Williamson or whatever in direction, even though Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega dipped, or she was fired. But anyway, now Neve Campbell is actually back with the character after a pay dispute for Scream 6. And Ortega left because apparently she had a pay dispute too, and she was too busy with Wednesday and her scheduling. Melissa Barrera was fired because of talking about personal life stuff, and people found that wrong. My point is, it's going to focus on her and her family and her kids, and it's going to actually bring back Mark Kincaid from Scream 3. Because we haven't seen him, and we know they're married in Scream 5. And in Scream 6, we heard that even though Sydney wasn't in that movie, they all left to go somewhere safe away from Ghostface. I mean, if Ghostface haunted you for 5 freaking movies, I would find somewhere to vacate too. Like freaking Hawaii or the Bahamas or the freaking Arctic, for crying out loud. Can you imagine Ghostface in the Arctic? Imagine we get a Scream 11 movie and it's Ghostface in the Arctic. Can you imagine Ghostface wielding a freaking like snowplow or something? Oh my god. Now I can't stop thinking about Ghostface using a snowplow as a weapon. See, that's the kind of thing that we can laugh about on here without getting too silly. Just some stupid little thing like that. It's when it gets too silly that it becomes a thing. We all know about that from Goaty Boy and GMB and Portals and all those other jokesters, all those other clods, those clowns, those invertebrates, those peeps. What if Teddy nuked the CRM? Okay, all right. Now, hold on. Teddy might have had a big plan, and it could have gone south if he actually succeeded. But the CRM? Now, that's a tall order. If he's going to nuke the CRM, you might as well just make him nuke the entire planet. Actually, no. They haven't in a very long time, Devin. I'm glad for that. Maybe they finally gave up. Watch them come back. I don't care. Bring them on 1,000 times. We'll just get rid of them 1,000 times more. Anyone who's not with this channel is against the channel. What if Teddy joined the CRM? I don't know. I'm going to say him being in the prison is the best option just based on who Teddy was. And we already have Teddy as a prison character. So, yeah. KJ and Enigma Explorer / Frank Castle, they ain't here. Speaking of which, I have a question for you. I haven't seen you on the Discord in a really long time. Have you just been dealing with real life stuff? Because even when I'm on gaming and stuff, Frank Castle will only appear on like once in a while. And then Kaz, my friend Eugene Kaz, he's just got back from college. He'll be going back August for one more year, but still, I figured more people that I haven't talked to or seen in a minute, I want to talk to and like, you know, interact more. So it doesn't make me like a bad person or anything. Even though I do heart all my content or comments and talk a lot. Duh. Yeah, I just wanted to know what was up. So I haven't been able to keep up with my socials. That's okay. Oh, new intro, by the way.
For some excitement?
We are!
Who's ready for some fun?
We are!
Who's ready to shut up and watch the episode?
No, thank you. No one asked you. It doesn't matter what you think.
I made this a few days ago earlier in the week, and it's just a really drawn out friggin' skit that I wanted to make. It's perfect for an intro. Where we're just like, no, thank you. Everyone just gangs up on him. Yeah. I'm actually, funny thing is, I'm watching SpongeBob as my current franchise, even though there's only going to be like one what if on that, since SpongeBob's its own thing in its entirety. It's funny because I wasn't even on SpongeBob fully until after I made that. So it's funny. Who in their lifetime hasn't freaking watched SpongeBob or doesn't like it? I mean, let's be real here. I literally have the entire collection. The 13th season that just came out, I just got that mailed to me. And I have all 3 movies. I have all 13 seasons. And I plan to look into there's a freaking Sandy movie coming out, which is going to be out here soon. There's a Plankton movie revealed for 2025 on Netflix. And SpongeBob ain't going away any freaking time soon. We all know that. But the one singular what if that I'm going to do for SpongeBob, besides regular discussion, is something I think a lot of us need to think about. What if SpongeBob... Okay, before I say my thing, everyone has to be a SpongeBob fan. So think about this. We all know how season 3 of SpongeBob came out, right? Long time ago. And then the SpongeBob Shell City movie with King Neptune's crown. There's like 3 King Neptunes in the SpongeBob franchise, by the way. We all know that after that movie was and kind of still is, if you pay attention to how it's formatted, even though SpongeBob doesn't have a canon, it's never meant to, but it still kind of is the end of the SpongeBob franchise, how it's built in and how it works. But think about this for a second. What if after season 3 and that movie, SpongeBob actually ended and didn't come back with season 4? And it actually ended despite massive success from the movie. I'm thinking they already milked and are still milking to this day Fairly Odd Parents with these movies, shows, and all this. But I think they would have continued on other shows like Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron. They would have made other shows last longer, or they would have at least tried. Heck, Fairly Odd Parents might have actually done better. But I feel that even if they were to have done that, they would have, with how they would have done everything, if SpongeBob had ended, they would have kept it going because the fan base wouldn't have allowed it, and even to this day would rage if SpongeBob quit. Like, let's be real here. Why do you guys think SpongeBob is still going on to this day? Like, Dragon Ball is still going on to this day. Like, The Walking Dead or shows like that. Some shows never die. Fun fact, Danny Phantom and Fairly Odd Parents were made by the same person, and a guy had a contract. He said, which one do you want to continue? It was either Danny Phantom or Fairly Odd Parents, and they chose Fairly Odd Parents. And look at what happened to it. Near the end of it, and after the movies and other shows and everything, it just went down. But imagine if Danny Phantom would have gotten that treatment. It would have, or no, it wasn't Danny Phantom. It was Jimmy Neutron. Or wait, it was one of the 2 or one of the 3. But I'm just going to tell you right now that I'm just saying, my point here is, if SpongeBob had ended like that, I feel like all those shows would have eventually been milked to the point that it would have either done better, not better than SpongeBob, no freaking way, but fans would have eventually ranted, raved, and wanted SpongeBob back. And heck, If you look at season 12, SpongeBob's big birthday blowout, SpongeBob and Patchy finally get to meet. Patchy finally meets his idol. I mean, how many of you were sitting at your home one day and it was like, you saw SpongeBob, you get to meet Patchy the pirate for the first time, and it's like, wow, this show is freaking awesome. And then it ends in the movie and everything. And it's like, well, that's never happening. And you get to now, and it's like, this is a dream come true. And that episode was the monument to Steven Hillenburg. Rest in peace, along with Akira Toriyama, my favorite two creators. My point is that as much as many of us would never want shows like SpongeBob or Dragon Ball or The Walking Dead to ever end, what if they did? How would us as a fan base react? What show would take its place? I mean, how many of us have looked at an actor like Jeffrey Dean Morgan or Andrew Lincoln or Sean Schmiel for Goku and been like, you can't replace that guy. You just can't. Who could play the role of that titular character down to the core? Okay, that Walker virus, SpongeBob being in The Walking Dead is ironically somehow going to happen. And Daryl getting, the Ben 10 one, I have like very small things planned for, but that's for MCU and Dragon Ball, not The Walking Dead. That's too overpowered. But seriously though, shows and some actors are just meant to stay. They're meant to play that character. They're meant to put a place in our hearts. And as crazy as and freaking out of place as the human race is, we still find shows and things like this to enjoy ourselves, to fight over, to freaking love, you know? Even if we fight over it, we still love it. It doesn't stop us from loving it. If anything, it makes us love it more. Blackout in my house help. Well, I don't know what to do, man. I would say go outside or try and fix the problem. We're going to halt the Q&A. We got 8 ideas, technically 9, and I'm in a yapping mood, so yeah. Yeah, I just love how YouTube's doing this. It's saying, oh, you have to verify your address. You have to verify your account. You have to verify your settings. And it's still paying me. Oh, you got to verify to keep getting monetized, even though it's still paying me. Like, how about this? How about us as a human race learn to make up our minds for once and either keep me verified and keep paying me, or don't send me stupid fake messages? How about that? And that's not me getting mad over that. That's just me wondering what's wrong with the human race outside of not being able to get things memorized. And just to show that people should get things memorized, Axel said it best. Kingdom Hearts logic. If you're not a Kingdom Hearts fan, you won't get the joke. I'm going to share this for the rest of the stream. 10 minutes. All right, I showed my method. I showed my new intro. I showed my pictures. Showed the scheduling. There's really not much else to show and not too much else to talk about. But, could share how freaking excited I am for this Lightning McQueen story, or the fact of all my other stories on that second batch that I'm excited for. That's something we could talk about. Or how about we talk about how much Lori sucks as a character? We could talk about that. We could definitely talk about how much freaking Lori sucks. I could talk about that for 10 hours and still not be tired. Heck, my gravestone is going to say, my gravestone's literally going to say, Nick died as he lived, hating Lori Grimes. That's what I'm literally going to have them write that on my tombstone. Literally. Not that word for word, but I'm going to have them put something about hating Lori Grimes. That's what we're going to do. Because I feel that's appropriate. Or we could talk about how much underrated Troy is as a character and how much I'm really starting to like Troy Otto. We could talk about Sparking Zero / Budokai Tenkaichi 4 coming out in October. The reveal getting put out today. We could talk about Daryl Season 2 coming out in September. We could talk about a potential freaking eventual Rick and Daryl and Rick and Morgan and everything reunion. We could talk about how much Lori sucks. I feel like it's now just dead. By the way, next sub goal, instead of that 10,000 like I was preaching before, which was way too much, way too much of a milestone just yet, even if it is logical, should just do it by the thousands. So 2,000, this should be the new sub goal. And yeah, 2,000, because I go too high. People think they said best. Who do I think I am? I'm someone who is thinking a little bit too much in that regard, and should start small, work the way up. That's how we got here. That's how we're going to keep doing it. Want to be the best, we got to work it the way that it's going to be the best, pretty much. Sorry, I'm just chillaxing.
Convince yourself what you say is true, but I can see right through. You think big, but your aim is too small. You talk the talk, you walk the walk, so tell me who. You just stand there.
Just listening to a song that's stuck in my head as of this morning. Actually, last night, to be honest. So, I really don't think there's anything left to talk about. We got 9 ideas pretty much. I showed you guys my new method, showed you guys pictures, got to hang out, got to talk about stuff, got to think about the future. We got all that situated. And with that, I think I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here. We extended the stream anyway. So thank you guys for the 9 ideas. And by the way, 60% of you are not subbed and everything. So if you please subscribe to this channel, that would mean a great deal of appreciation to me. And yeah, I'll see you guys next Saturday for the next Q&A. Later on the Discord, depending on if I'm on to be on the live for Xbox channel or just in general. And tomorrow on Discord, I'll definitely be on tomorrow. And Monday and so on for uploads. Anyway, thank you guys for joining the stream, and I am out.